We're not going into arguments, we are just going into think about the benefits, the disbenefits, the pros, the cons, and the what is. Think about one thing at one time, or one area at one time, rather than when I say the pros, you counter me with the cons, and then I counter you with that is not a con, that is a pro. Okay, so we go into an argument. Okay, so we like to think about what are the benefits of what we're offering, what are some of your concerns, and what are things that we can do together that resolve some concerns. So it allows the sales meeting to be more productive. Even if the sales meeting ends up with no sale, you actually have a faster meeting that gets you a final result. Right? In sales, when the customer says no, it is good news. When the customer says yes, it is better news. What is bad news? When the customer says maybe. Okay, let me think about it. And 3 years later, I'm still thinking. Okay, so no, we don't want that. We want them to get a conclusion. Even if it's a no, it's good. We can move on, or we can find out better solutions that fit the needs. We don't have to hang around there and wait for them forever, right? So 6 hat concepts. We're going to what are the 6 hats? Tool is not categories. Why hats? Basically, they're not real hats, they're imaginary hats. Each hat is of a different color. As you can see, it's the colors are here. We'll go into the colors in detail in a while. Each of the hats represent different kinds of thinking. When you are using one hat, you're just thinking on one area specifically. It's a powerful thinking tool. It's a similar way of using golf clubs for specific purposes. I don't play golf, but if you do, I'm sure that you've got different clubs for different needs. And also the 6 hats has got different combinations, different sequences can be used for different situations. We'll see about it later on. Okay, they're not categories. It doesn't mean that it's not a what they call a personality test. It's not like if you think your boss is a black hat. The boss is always a black hat. Whatever we do is nothing bad. There's nothing good about it. It's not a labeling. It's not a category of person. Okay, it's a way of thinking, and everybody can and needs to switch from different hats to hats for different specific situations. Okay, so it's not personality. Why hats? Well, because it's something that you put on your head. Simple as that. White hats is something you put on your head and use your head to think. So that's that. So basically, we start with the blue hat. And this is we will go into the application of sales in a while. Managing the thinking agenda. Basically, when you meet someone for sales, do you set what are your objectives or your goals out of that meeting? Sure. Or do you expect that person to sign the contract the moment you see them? Okay, usually not. Then what do you think you want that person to do or provide you with? Do meaning, maybe this person is not the sole decision maker or is not the decision maker. You want that person to tell his boss, her boss to get to do something, or you want that person to do a next step action, maybe. What do you want that person to provide? More information? More details, who to talk to, what are the facts, what are the issues you need to resolve before you need to make a sale. So sometimes you need to set the agenda. Okay, and also, why is it important to set the agenda? Because in a sales meeting, how do the customer feel when they are meeting a salesperson? Defensive. They feel defensive because in their minds, their agenda, they don't set it formally, it's subconsciously they think about their agenda being, okay, this person is coming here to take money away from me. Right, so this is the agenda set. Right, why do I say that? What do you think is the purpose of selling? The purpose of selling is to make money. Simple as that. From who? The customer. Right, so if you're a customer, your mindset will be, this person is here to take away my money.
And they're going to tell you whatever they think you need to hear to get that money from you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is faster, this is better, it's lighter, the battery lasts
exactly,
longer.
Exactly. They have this mindset and they're already in a very defensive mode. So sometimes you need to reset the agenda and saying that the reason we are here is to explore whatever. We want to explore, is there a better way to do certain things? Is there a way to resolve some issues? Or maybe not resolve. The reason we're here is just to find out if there are future needs or current needs for certain kinds of application of something. Okay, it's just to put the customer at ease and be less defensive. So sometimes when in a sales meeting, you may want to reset the agenda, not just with yourself, but also with the customer. So this sets the agenda, organizes the thinking and flow of the meeting, sets the focus, agenda, summarizes and concludes. Sometimes when we end a meeting, we forgot to tell the customers what's next. The customer says, okay, great, send me the proposal, send me the stuff. Okay, great, and then what? Does it mean that you send a proposal, the customer will respond? Or does it mean you need further actions? Do they need to see a demo? Do they need to get more facts? Do they need to get more testimonials? Do you need to meet more people in your team? Okay, so sometimes at the end of a sales meeting, you've got to think about, or sometimes even set the agenda with the customer. When and how will be the next meeting? Okay, so this this is blue hat, sets the manage thinking, manage the process, manage the agenda. Number 2, white hat. White hat, well, blue, just now we mentioned blue hat. Why blue? Blue is the color of what? The sky. Okay, and the sky is so high, right? So basically, it's everything on the sky is just to manage everything that's in your realm. Get things in order first before you start doing things. White hats. Well, what do you associate with white color?
Clean, purity.
Clean paper. Clean piece of paper. Waiting for what? Information to be fed in, right? So basically, information that we know prior to meeting, information that we would like to know, information we need, and something that's missing, artifacts, doubtful information. There is this emphasis on asking questions in sales. Now, I do agree that asking questions in sales is very important. At the same time, I will also suggest that before you even see the customer, get some information first, so that when you ask questions, they appear to be more intelligent. Right? So that when you ask questions, it shows to the customer that you respect the customer, that you actually bothered to spend 5-10 minutes of the time to at least go through their websites, at least type in the name and Google it or Baidu it or do whatever it is to find some information. It may be trivial information, it doesn't matter, but at least you know a little bit about what they do. And when you ask questions, it sounds that you know them a little bit. It sounds that you are better prepared than other salespeople. Okay, so this is our information that the information part. Number 3. It's not right there. Yellow. What? Well, how do you associate yellow with? What are things that are yellow? Beer. Okay, good. What else? Yeah, German, right? Yeah. In Italian, right? Okay. What else?
Banana.
Banana? Okay. anything more valuable?
Gold.
Gold, yes!
Gold.
Right, so this basically this what is known as logical positive, the benefits, the selling points, the things that are good. Okay, so this is the yellow hat, whatever that's good. And sometimes it's not always that we always say what we sell is good. Sometimes it's also good to start with what they are having has got its plus points, benefits as well. Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's not always about always telling the customers what we have is good and better. Sometimes it's also important to let them know that whatever they're having has got its good points too. Okay, and there's a reason behind it. Because the next one is the black hat. And what do you associate black with?
The villain.
The villain. Which villain?
The bad villain.
Which one? Which one was all black and is a villain?
Vader.
Darth Vader, yes. Star Wars, yeah, Darth Vader, black, bad guy. Right, so the skeptical view, the associated risks, associated concerns, possible downsides, anything that will fail, anything that might go wrong, which will go wrong, right? So this is the black part. So when we are using our yellow hats and tell customers, this is what we have, this is great, this is good, this is what you should have. What the customers is actually doing in their minds is they're using their black hats to say that it's not as good, there's something really wrong, I can't be too sure. Okay, so these are things that we need to really try to resolve. Green. What do you associate with green? Not the Chinese green hat. But the green color. What do you associate with?
Freshness.
Freshness, spring, growth, trees, right? Growth, right? So it's great between the 6 alternatives. Remove faults. Basically, we are looking for possibilities. These are the hats that we are always looking in possibilities. So, and last but not least, red. Passion, feelings, right? So this is a hat that we'd like to know from our end as well as customers' end, what are their feelings? And sometimes we can ask the customers, so how does it feel? 你觉得怎么样? How does it feel? Rather than how do you think? We use the word feel more than think because we want to get a gauge of a feeling. That's one part. But sometimes feelings are not expressed in words. How are feelings being expressed? Sometimes we don't use words to express our feelings. How do we express our feelings? Actions, body language, facial expressions. Okay, so these are the things that even though you don't need to ask customers how do you feel, it's a red hat thinking. But you don't need to ask them, straight away you can see that whether they are leaning forward, or is there a certain frown in their face, is there a certain smile somewhere? Okay, so you can actually tell. You can actually tell more or less what's the gauge. Are they for you, against you? Do they have yes, but? Most of it they like you, but there's some concerns. So these are little what I call facial and body language expressions that we can pick up and probably allows you to set the next agenda. So this is the application sales, part 1. Right, basically, we set the agenda. Why should you meet me? What's in it for you that you want to meet me as a salesperson? Right, sometimes we just tell customers, oh, well, I'm from XY company and we're selling certain kind of products. We have some information about products. Can I come by and just introduce our products to you? Okay, so this is a lot of sales will do that, right? And what do customers say?
No thanks.
I'm really busy right now. They may be playing golf. They are busy playing golf, right? But they're busy right now. So that's the thing. It doesn't attract customers. Some other customers, what they try to do is to sort of tell the customers, oh, I'm just nearby your office. I'm just nearby your factory, and I can just pop by and drop by and say hi. And what the customer says?
I'm in the office right now.
Well, I'm not in the office. Actually, that's a better answer. Because what could be worse is that, sure, come around. And when you drop it and you come by around, that person is not there. And then instead of, well, that customer is thinking, well, they're just nearby, so it didn't hurt if I'm not around because you are nearby. But the truth is what? You actually spend 2 hours getting to the customer's place and in 2 hours to get back. And the customer is not there. Okay, so this is things that happen. So sometimes you got to think about what are certain things that will arouse the customer's interest in meeting you. Right? So it could be things like, I understand that your company has got a strict policy of cost down in the production facilities. And what we like to explore is how you can actually drive better productivity and lower costs for your production. Is it okay if I drop by and have a 15 minutes chat and find out if there's certain things that can help you to reduce costs? Sounds better. May not be yes, but you have a better chance. Okay, or at the very least, if you are in the meeting already and you want to start to ask questions, right? The problem with asking questions in sales is, if you No, if you're in a sales meeting and you meet the person, you shake hands, exchange name cards, you sit down and coffee is served, and then you start asking questions. You start to ask 10,001 questions. How will the customer feel? Oh, yes. Are you from the Gong'an or something? The census bureau, right? Yeah.
I think we need to, when you say questions, there's two types of questions.
Yes.
There's open questions and closed questions.
Yes.
And very often salespeople go for closed questions, which is not working.
Well,
and it doesn't
yes.
work at all, right?
Yes.
So this is what people should learn about.
Yes, well, sometimes it also depends on the type of questions. As in, the salesperson sits down and starts to ask, so, which hotel do you normally use? And get customers to answer. Normally, how many room nights do you use in that hotel a month? Normally, what kinds of rooms do you use? Okay, and when do you think we can start our arrangement for you? Okay, this are in a way open questions, but they are not centered on the customer. They are centered on how, as a salesperson, how can I achieve my targets? Okay, and guess what? Customers are going to be very, very pissed. Okay, so the thing about, if you start asking questions, sometimes you can also set the agenda by saying, just tell the customer, explain to the customer, why do you need to ask those questions? So you shake hands, sit down, and say that, right, Mrs. So-and-so, the reason I'm here today is to find out if there are ways to actually improve your production capabilities and make it all more cost efficient. You don't mind if I ask a few questions to find out if there's something that we can really do for you? Very seldom you get an objection on that. You prepare the customers that you are about to ask some questions. And make sure your questions are centered around your agenda, rather than asking about, so when you are ready to order. Okay, so that's setting agenda, and of course, white hats, gathering information. You can share, you can even start, not by asking questions, but by sharing also with the customer what you already know. I understand a company just expanded your factory. I understand a company just had an increase of headcount by 10 or 20%. I understand that you just bought over another company. Something, just share what you know, and then ask some questions on what I meant here by current future needs. So currently, what is the kind of system are you using? And if you want to have a future better systems, what will be some of your expectations? Okay, so it's current and future. It can also be past and present. In the past, last year, for your annual meeting, which hotel do you use? If you are going to change a new hotel this year, what will be your expectations? What will be some of the things that additional things that you need? Okay, so this gives you an idea of the expectations of customers, rather than just about telling what's good about us. We want to find out what they want, and then match what we can offer with what they want. Okay, so that's white hat. And and then we have the yellow hats. Okay. Now, this yellow hat here is not about what's good about us. If you are selling to someone who is using currently a competitor's product, which happens most of the time. So instead of jump straight in and say, this is what we can do for you, you ask them, what do you like about what you're having now? Okay, so it's a reverse way of thinking. Just get them to say something about what do you like about what you have right now, and then get them to ask them to say a few things what they're having now, which are areas can be improved. Now this sounds like a yellow hat question, but it's actually a black hat. Think about this. If something can be improved, what it means is it's not perfect. There are some faults. There are certain things that are not as good as it's supposed to be. So it's...
Yeah, but something can be perfect at that stage of its development.
Sure.
It doesn't make it imperfect, it just needs to have advanced.
Sure. Whatever it is, I mean, from our point of view, we're not there to say what they're having is bad, because that will create resentment, that will create adversarial thinking.
Because they were probably the ones who made that decision. They
Yes. So what we want to do is, what they're having, what do you like about it, and what else can be improved, and also why are these areas of improvement so important to you? Why is it important? Why is it urgent? Why is it brought up? Okay, so it's actually looking at possible defects, possible deficiencies, or possible weaknesses in the competitor's products. Okay, so we say that, get them to say nice things first, and get them to say the areas of improvements for the competitor's products, right? And then, how can I help to improve your results? If these are areas that you find that needs improvement, are there ways that either by using our products, either the whole package or partially, or some customization or somehow others, to improve your results? So we use a green hat to explore options, right? And once we explore the options, we assess gut feel. So, 18. Question? No. Okay, so sorry, I'm just observing facial expressions. Right, assessing gut feel. So how do you feel? Get the facial expression. Right, the green hat is just to rephrase the yellow, black, and green hat again. The yellow is you ask them, how do you like your current product now? Whatever it is. How do you find your current product? So, not too bad. Okay, no problem. Right, so if there are areas that you can improve for your current product with your current service provider, what would be those areas of improvements? Let them say. Why are these improvements so important to you? Whatever it is. And then we use a green hat to say that, okay, this is perhaps what we can do to help you get those improvements in performance, quality, service, whatever. Then get the gut feel, see, do they buy into what we suggest to them? Okay, so that's just one way of application. There's another way of application. This is right sequence. Okay. Another way is when the customer buys into your idea, or you're selling someone that hasn't bought any similar product as yet. So, and the customers actually look for you and ask you for a meeting. You didn't cold call the customer calls you. So we went there and say, well, so, what can I do for you? We are here to find out what are your needs and explore what else, what are things that we can do for you so that we can work together. Number two, we can also have confirmation of known information. You may have prior discussions earlier on, and they want to do a summary at this case, at this point of time, just to make sure that we know each other. This is what we know about you, this is what you know about us, we're all in tandem. And we can go into the benefits. This is also a sequence that you can use for what we call as a sales presentation. If you really know a lot about customers and you're in presentation mode, this is what I can do to you as well. Okay, second agenda, this is what we can do for you. This is the main objective 1, 2, 3. The known information, you have certain kinds of situation and you have certain needs, and this is what our capabilities can do for you. The benefits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, once you, this is what salespeople sometimes forget to do when they do sales presentation. They assume that when we present something, the customers will just agree totally with you. The truth is they will not. Sometimes they will raise objections. Sometimes they don't. Right? Sometimes customers raise objections only when there is a price issue. But if there is a location issue, a logistics issue, what I call the management preference, the management is German and they will not buy from a French or American brand, maybe. Okay, so those kind of niggly issues, sometimes they don't tell it out. Or maybe the end users, whoever are using, may not like it, and they have a concern but they don't feel like raising it out in public, in front of you. Or they don't want to take the initiative to raise it up to you. So but sometimes when making a presentation, you can volunteer the black hat. These are our benefits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And having seen our solution, do you have any concerns, any kinds of concerns or any risks you can associate with our solution? Anything that you deem may go wrong with our solution? Right? And the reason for doing so is that you want the hidden black hats in the customer's minds to come up on the surface, so that both parties can deal with it, rather than to have it in the minds of customers, and when they are gone, then the customers will let the black hat out in front of their own team, and you know nothing about it. Okay, it's better to have that black hat out so that everybody can discuss. You may be able to resolve it, you may not, but at least when it's out in the open, it's easier to deal with.
But it also shows that you care enough about their needs and their wants.
Exactly.
That you're concerned. You want to ask them, what do you think about it?
Yeah, yeah. Not just what you think. Sometimes when you ask what you think, they say, okay, so. Okay, so sometimes you need to be more direct.
What are the problems?
Yeah.
Problems.
What are concerns? What are problems? What do you think? And sometimes it can even be more candid. What do you think might go wrong? These are the benefits of a great solution, but what do you think might go wrong? If you are not really forthcoming, right? And also, even if you are not forthcoming, some Chinese companies are not used to being very public about disagreements. And if you know there are some concerns of your other customers, you bring it up yourself. Now, our other customers, when we present this solution to them, the biggest concern is price. The biggest concern is the logistics. Do you have a similar concern as well? Okay, so sometimes you can even volunteer the black hat to the customers, so let them clear out the black hat so that it will not go back in the sales process. Then, of course, you have a black hat, you have concerns, you resolve concerns, and again, you assess that feeling. Now, there is one hat that is missing. Look, all the 6 hats are here, but to end the meeting, we need one more hat. The blue hat again. There are only 6 hats, there are no pink hats, unfortunately. Or purple hats.
Well, you said it wasn't there, so
Yeah, it wasn't there.
It might be a secret 7th hat that we haven't heard about.
In the sequence, right? In the sequencing, you actually need a next blue hat. What's next? Okay, so what's the next step? So sometimes you need to ask the customers, so how do you think we should do next? So how do we suggest we should do next? You make more facts and figures, data, demos, visits. Should I see your technical people, end users? Yeah.
No. CT, what is the difference between the yellow hat and the green hat?
Yellow hat is just